Hello everybody and welcome to my review of Sonic Blast. Not Sonic 3D Blast. That's a different game because it's got 3D in the title. This is Sonic Blast, the Game Gear Master System video game. Oh boy. So let's get into it right now. What is the plot of the game? Well, Sonic the Hedgehog awakens from a nap when the Chaos Emerald in his hands shatters into 5 smaller pieces. Dr. Eggman claims he tried to zap Sonic with a laser beam, but it hit the Emerald instead. So Eggman was threatening. He attempted to kill Sonic in his sleep. Like, I see the little rodents over there. I'm gonna blast them to death. Eggman reveals his plan to build his brand new fortress, the Silver Castle, and he finds the Emerald Shard. Sonic is joined by Knuckles, and the two set off to stop Eggman. Pretty basic plot. This plot is kind of told with like this this drawing, right? Like there's like a drawing that's seems like a 5-year-old put it together. There's a good ending and a bad ending for the game. So the bad ending is if the player has not managed to gather the 5 Emerald Shards, Silver Castle will fall into the sea with Sonic or Knuckles watching, and Eggman, you can see Eggman escape. The good ending is the same thing happens, but instead Eggman does not escape, and Sonic or Knuckles will juggle the Emerald Shards in their hand. And just another fun thing, this game was called G-Sonic in Japan. I don't know why. Don't ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answer to. So, the gameplay of this game. The big thing about this is the visuals, is that this game used pre-rendered visuals, kind of like Donkey Kong Country. And like Donkey Kong Country, when you put it on a handheld, looks like garbage. Have you seen the DKC games on the Game Boy Advance? Or the Game Boy? It is awful. That's what this is? That's what this is. Gameplay-wise, though, I would say, if we take the visuals out, it still works and operates like a regular Game Gear game. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about that. If you played the other Game Gear games, it's gonna feel the same. Sonic is slow as all hell. He's not moving fast at all. You got the basic moveset for Sonic, right? Jump, spin dash. He does have a double jump in this game, which is very useful, and you are going to need it. Knuckles operates the same as Knuckles always does in any game. You know, he can fly, he can crawl onto walls and stuff. Pretty similar there. So gameplay-wise, it operates like a pretty much every other Game Gear game, and it's got those pre-rendered visuals, though, where like the crunch is so bad on them. Now, after you complete a level, before we get into the zones, every time you complete a zone, the signpost will change depending on, I couldn't find if there was a reason why or if it's just random, but there is multiple different signposts and each of them means something. So if you get a Sonic signpost, if you're playing as Sonic, you get a 1-up. If you're playing as Knuckles, you just get 30 rings. The Knuckles signpost is the reverse. If you're playing as Knuckles, you get a 1-up, Sonic, 30 rings. There's an Emerald signpost, which that just gives you a continue. If you get a Super Sonic signpost, you get a 1-up and 30 rings. Now, Super Sonic himself is not in this game. But okay, they have a signpost there. There is a 10-ring post, which just gives you 10 rings. If you get an Eggman one, you get nothing. It's like, haha, sucks to be you. So the zones! There is Green Hill Zone. This is the easiest one in the game, bar none. Then there is Yellow Desert Zone, which is a good one. I don't think Yellow Desert Zone's too bad. I think it definitely opposite from Green Hill, but still not bad. Red Volcano is when we start to get the BS-ery going on here. A lot of enemies, a lot of lava pools. There is a mechanic where you're on a platform, and in order for it to move forward, you have to jump up, so they play with that a lot. But I don't think Red Volcano is an awful level. I just think it's a bit more of a challenging one. Blue Marine is the worst level in the game, and I will tell you why. Well, first off, it's a water level, so you already know what I'm gonna say there. But they make it like a maze, and I'm like, why would you ever make a water maze level? Like, why? Have you learned nothing? Have you learned nothing from the previous games? That the water levels are people's worst levels in these games, and you decide, we're gonna make it longer, we're gonna make a maze. So the first act of Blue Marine is god awful. So what you have to do is you're in these pipes, and what you're supposed to do is, navigate through the pipes, and then there's one specific pipe where you're supposed to jump up onto it, and you have to jump onto like these floating platforms in the water and then jump to the pipe. Easy enough to say it. doing it sucks because in this level, in this act, there is currents that will push you away and you're stuck. Like, you're lost in the current forever. I kid you not, about 10 minutes stuck in a loop, going between the same pipes over and over again because I kept getting caught in the current. So yeah, I'm not too fond of this level. And then Act 2 is more of a maze than Act 1 is. Act 1, I would not say is that much of a maze, but Act 2 is a maze. And it's awful. Not amazing, it's a maze. And it's awful. So this is the worst level in the game, easily. And then Silver Castle, the final one, you got your typical, you got there's like a lever thing where in order to continue, you have to like jump on all these platforms that spin in a circle. That's actually pretty interesting, but what makes it worse is that you have to get off. You can't do it all in one go because there are spikes, so you have to like keep jumping on and off. There is teleporters all over the place that send you from different parts of the level. There is these running spikes where you will fall down. You have to like run across the screen to avoid these spikes chasing you. A lot of enemies around the place. There are falling platforms. I would honestly say it sounds very difficult, but Silver Castle is a lot better than Blue Marine. Silver Castle really, to me, imitates the Scrap Brain Zone from Sonic 1, where it is a challenging final level, but it's not undoable, right? It's not like you can't do this. This is like impossible. It's a challenging level, but it's like challenging in the way you're like, okay, I'm gonna overcome this, right? It's not unbeatable, right? Unlike Blue Marine, which makes me want to, like, you know, I want to go in that water and drown myself to death by playing Blue Marine. So then the special stages. So the special stages are 10 different levels. There's 10 special stages. These stages can be accessed through hidden rings in the first 2 acts of the zone. In Act 1, completing a special stage will grant you a 1-up, but if you complete a special stage in Act 2, you get the Chaos Emerald Shard. So the best thing for you to do is to find the ring in Act 2. So the special stages, all you do is you run through a checkered area. You cannot stop your character from moving forward. You can only move them left or right or jump. And to complete a special stage, you have to collect a certain amount of rings. After completing or losing a special stage, you will be taken back to the normal act. And then the bosses. So the bosses in this game don't actually have like names, like Egg whatever. So I'm just calling them, you know, based off of like, you know, the aesthetic they have. So Boss 1 is a helicopter. So Eggman's got like a boomerang that he throws at you. So all you have to do is just jump up and hit him. That's pretty it. It's pretty simple. The Yellow Desert is like he's got like a spear. So what he'll do is he'll like charge up and then he'll come and like try and like hit the ground with the spear. You can easily dodge him and avoid him. Red Volcano is you're on like this floating platform and he will like throw a spike ball at you. The easiest way you can do it is you jump, hit him, and immediately go to the like far end of the screen and he can't hit you. Again, really easy. Blue Marine has a harpoon. I guess this one's harder just because he's underwater. So what he'll do is he'll fire the harpoon. You're supposed to like jump up and hit him. When the harpoon hits the ground, that will cause an air bubble to come up. So there's that. And then Silver Castle, it's a weird final boss for Silver Castle. So you're on a conveyor belt and there are these mirrors and Eggman will fire a laser at the mirrors and you have to like, you know, you have to dodge the thing bouncing off the mirrors and hitting you. But a way you can stop that is there is a mirror above you, and running on the conveyor belt in either direction will cause the mirror to go from side to side. So what you want to do is when Eggman fires, make sure the mirror is under him so then it will bounce back and hit him. I think it takes 13 hits to beat him. It's quite weird. It's a weird final boss. And then there is an extra boss. This one you can only access if you have all the Chaos Emerald Shards. I called this one the Cracked Egg because it looks like an egg that breaks. This is like the hard boss of the game because every other boss is really easy. So it's like a bunch of spikes. There's like a floating Eggman on the top, and you have to jump on to the bottom half, which also has spikes, and then hit him. He will fire energy balls at you. This would be like, you know, like the super hard boss of the game. And then we have re-releases. So this game was re-released in Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic Mega Collection Plus, Sonic's Gems Collection, but in the Gems Collection, weirdly, it's just a demo of the game as ending, which I don't know why they didn't just put the full game in. It is in the Sonic PC Collection, it was on 3DS Virtual Console, and then, of course, Sonic Origins. So, what do I think of Sonic Blast? It's fine. It's a fine, standard, Game Gear game. That's how I feel. Literally, to me, it's like I don't feel too strongly about liking it or hating it in one way or another. Overall, I would say I don't hate it more, right? I think I'm leaning more towards the like part. It's just a standard game to me, right? It's just like, yeah, it's like a 6 out of 10. That's where I see Blast. It's a 6 out of 10. Is the crunchy pre-rendered visuals awful? You're goddamn right. Does Blue Marine suck ass? Yes, it does. But overall, I'm like, there's nothing too bad about it. It's just like, yeah, it's a game that exists. So that's Sonic Blast to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Sonic Blast. And thank you all for joining me on the Game Gear portion. So we're done with the Genesis games and we're done with the Game Gear games. So moving on now, we should move on to the Sega Saturn stuff now, which I'm looking forward to. And there is also the 32X, which I do have to get to. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this little Game Gear dive, and I will see you guys all next time.